Seth Meyers. Photo handout universal via Getty Images. At Sunday night's Golden Globes, host Seth Meyers addressed the elephant in the room early on. "Good evening, ladies and remaining gentlemen." Post-Harvey Weinstein, Hollywood's sexual harassment and ASU reckoning has inspired the long-overdue Me Too and Time's Up movements. Many of the night's presenters and winners didn't skip an opportunity to sharpen their tongues and add their 2 cents on the red carpet. Actresses blasted E for paying Kat Sadler less than her male colleagues. Inside, Weinstein and Kevin Spacey were shaded specifically, and female winners addressed broader disparities in the industry. Oprah, of course, put it best: "For too long women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men, but their time is up." Here are all the jokes about and mentions of sexual harassment during the ceremony. It's 2018, marijuana is finally allowed and sexual harassment isn't. For the male nominees in the room tonight, this is the first time in 3 months it won't be terrifying to hear your name read out loud. Meyers jokes about how they tried to get a woman to host and be judged by a bunch of people, and once they said it's a hotel, she said no. Harvey Weinstein isn't here tonight, because, well, I've heard rumors he's crazy and difficult to work with. He'll be back in 20 years when he's the first person ever booed in the in memoriam. Meyers mentions that Netflix is moving forward with a new season of House of Cards. Is Christopher Plummer available for that, too? When I first heard about a film where a naive young woman falls in love with a disgusting sea monster, I thought, oh man, not another Woody Allen movie. Meyers enlisted Billy Eichner for a joke about Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name is a coming-of-age story, Meyers began. Eichner finished, said Kevin Spacey, "You lost me at of age." As Nicole Kidman accepted her award for Big Little Lies, she noted that her character is at the center of the conversation we are having right now, and talked about her mother, who was an advocate in the women's movement. Elizabeth Moss dedicated her Golden Globe to Margaret Atwood. "This is for you and all of the women who came before you and after you who were brave enough to speak out against intolerance and injustice and to fight for equality and freedom in this world." She also quoted The Handmaid's Tale's description of women as the people who were not in the papers, and said that now, we no longer in the black-white spaces at the edge of print. We no longer in the gaps between the stories. We are the story in print and we are writing the story ourselves. In her acceptance speech, Laura Dern began, "Many of us were told not to tattle, and encouraged society to support women who speak out and engage in restorative justice. May we also please protect and employ them." Dern said, "May we tell our children that speaking out without fear of retribution is our culture's new North Star." Accepting the Cecil B. DeMille Award, Oprah thanked the women who have bravely come forward across all industries to speak about sexual assault, reminding the audience of Recy Taylor and Rosa Parks, and asking men to listen to women's Me Toos. "What I know for sure is speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to share their personal stories," she said. "For too long women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men, but their time is up." In her acceptance speech for Big Little Lies, Reese Witherspoon said she wants to thank everyone who broke their silence this year. "We see you, we hear you, and we will tell your stories." Presenting Best Actress in a Comedy, Jessica Chastain and Chris Hemsworth jokes that in response to everything going on in Hollywood, they've decided to remove all the men from the category. Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon presented together and noted that Hollywood hasn't changed much at all since the release of Thelma and Louise. Barbra Streisand notes that she was the only woman to win a directing Golden Globe for YENTL. That was 1984. Time's Up, People, Golden Globe Awards. All the mentions of sexual harassment